Hey everybody, we are back. I'm Brock from Brock's Performance. If you are a regular subscriber to our channel, you know that. Before we get started on this video, I just wanted to make a statement. Here at Brock's Performance, we are all about technology. We love performance, and we're not afraid of new things, right? So we have an electric bike project that we did a quickie short on not too long ago, and some of the comments were downright rude. So I'm just going to go ahead and say it. This is my class. You guys are the students. You have to abide by my rules. And if you notice in some of our other videos, we don't have a bunch of negative bantering back and forth. All we want are true comments about what you think. If you don't like it, that's fine. But don't run off on a rambling about cordless drills and bullshit like that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and warn you now. You are officially being warned. Any of you who don't have a YouTube channel may not realize this, but when you make a comment from my phone, it's this simple. I can take your comment and see how it says hide user from channel. Guess what that means? That means not only will you be hidden from our channel and you won't be able to see anything we do ever again, and by the way, no one's ever been removed once they've been hidden. You will never be allowed to view the Brock's Performance channel again, and any comments that you have made in the past, wiped out. It's like you were never there. So please, we've got a link in our long description that talks about our policies and what we're willing to accept and what we're not. Please click on that link if you have questions. Otherwise, let's get to this new, exciting, crazy technology that is looking at us here in the form of an Energica. Okay, now that all that negativity is out of the way, let's have some fun. All right, guys, before we start, full disclosure, this is not my motorcycle. It was loaned to me by Energica Motorcycles, and at the end of this project, I'm going to be giving it back, or if I like it, maybe they'll sell it to me at a good price. Keep that in mind. If I keep it, money came out of my pocket to buy it, so we're not skewing results here. And the one thing I can tell you about the gentleman who sent me this motorcycle, he knows me. We've been friends for a long time, and he understands that if he doesn't want a completely 100% honest review, don't send it to me, because I got no problem in pissing in people's Cheerios, and some of the people at other OEMs can tell you that. But anyway, I have yet to ride this motorcycle. It took us a while to figure out how to get it on the dyno. Where's the spark plug? How do I get RPM? What correction factor do I use for weather conditions? Right? There's no correction factor. It's electric. So I'm going to show you, for you guys who may be new at this, or maybe for other dyno operators who have never dynoed an Energica, I'm going to show you exactly what it takes to go ahead and dyno the bike, and I'm going to show you the results. We already have some numbers from my previous testing, and I got to tell you, this thing is laying down some really impressive numbers. Back to the why. Why do we have it here? Where does that fit out in my world? I'm a performance guy. Does it fit somewhere? 20 years ago, if you'd have told me that I'd be making products for Harley Davidsons, much less riding them, much less one of my favorite motorcycles is a Harley, they'd have laughed at you. Now, man, I love the things. Can't get enough of them. Really have a lot of fun. So where does this fit in? But before we do that, let's go ahead and get some numbers and show you what I'm talking about. Seriously impressive stuff. All right, why do I need these? Is it loud? Not like the loud of a internal combustion engine spinning at 12, 14,000 RPM loud, but man, this thing puts out a whistle that is punishing. So even though it's quiet, we still put these on. We learned right off the bat that you've got to have hearing protection around this motorcycle. So I'm going to show you exactly how to get it set up to dyno. And of course, you follow your owner's manual as far as how to set everything up. But for what we're doing here, we want it to have, and I'll show you the screen display here in a moment. But the first thing is you have to have the traction control off. You have to have the ABS off because otherwise the bike won't perform. And when I say off, some of them you can turn completely off. Some of them you just back them down as far as you can. But there is sort of a hidden switch here, and I'll show you here. This little switch, you press on this. All right, when I press the button, it takes us to what they call the profile screen. And if you look here on the left control under mode, if we move the slider here to the left, we get economy, standard, wet, and sport. We want sport mode on the dyno. And if I move this button to the right, we get off, low, medium, and high on regenerative braking, which we don't need on the dyno. So then, if I just push straight down on this button, that saves those settings. And it timed out because I'm taking too long. Now, see how I selected off on the ABS? It flashes. ABS flashes here. Now I'm gonna go ahead and pull the profile screen back up and we can see where we are. We're in sport mode. That ABS is turned off. Regenerative is turned off. Okay guys, after you get that first profile screen all set up, now we have to turn the traction control completely off. We do that by long pressing the same button. We just hold it. That brings us over to our traction control. We're gonna use the mode button just to come over here. We'll hit level 1, press off. Okay, now ABS is off, traction control is flashing, it's off. And now we are ready to make a run. And if you want to just sort of stay right there, I'll give you the gist of it. For safety, it's got a typical starter like most motorcycles. You got to off, on, and this looks like start, but this is actually what makes it go. Now, pull the front brake to enable the bike. The only way you can go is to pull this, then press down. Now we got go. And I'll just show you here real quickly. I'm just going to give it a little bit of gas at first. Simple. Now let's throw down some numbers. Guys, I put a little heat in the tire. Feels like she's hooking up pretty good. Let's see what happens. Guys, 154 horsepower with 175 foot-pounds of torque instantly. I'll do that one more time. If you want, come around here and just sort of watch the display. And basically I just get the wheel turning just enough so I can hit the make run button and floor it. All right, guys, we've had this bike here for a while. We're in Ohio. The weather is crappy. We finally have a decent day. I cannot wait to I'm gonna wheel this bike off the dyno, take it out here, get my camera gear on, and you and I are gonna go for my very first ride on the Energica RS here in a minute. Hey guys, In my short, I tried to show off reverse mode, but it didn't really show very well. Let me show you what you do here. Turn the key on, pull in on the brake, front brake, hit starter button to put it in go mode. Then after it's in go mode, just hold down on the starter button, look behind you, then you let go, and it is the craziest feeling ever. Oh, that's pretty awesome. And then to get back, I got slow forward movement. Now I'm just going to go ahead and put on my gear, see what this thing's all about.
It's not gonna keep up with that thing at all.
All right, first impression. Wow, is this thing tall? And I am gonna ride it exactly how it was on the dyno. We got daytime screen, it new. Press this, we're in sport. Regenerative is off. Turn the ABS off, screen kicks off. Now I long press, traction control level 1 is as low as it goes. Push down, go to off on traction control. All right, nanny controls are off. Get the mirrors set here. Big about my mirrors. I like seeing that Mike Jeffrey guy in the mirrors behind me. We have a fan club here. All right, hold on, here we go. We are in go, and off we go. All right. Initial thoughts. Wow, this is strange. I'm riding motorcycles, not making any noise. Pretty cool. Go out here and take our regular route through Mexico. Wow. All right, so when you're going slow, it feels on the heavy side for sure. We'll get a, do I even call it wet weight? We'll get a weight for it. Maybe I'll get my scales out and see exactly where it is. It does feel on the heavy side. The other thing is, you notice, absolutely no clutch lever. And on my left-hand side, I have no shift lever. So this is all kinds of weird. Wow, it's real easy to go too fast. One thing I'm noticing also is the front end is set up really soft, flush, I guess you would call it. I was noticing on the dyno that I could push forward pretty far on the dyno, so I'll end up putting a little bit more aggressive tune into the forks when I get back. Make sure that the mirrors are set, because you never know about them federales, man. Come out. Well, hopefully we don't get a bunch of, wow, it's so quiet. All right, there we go. Now, I'm not going to whack the gas, but I'm going to just see what we got. Whoa! Now, that was a crazy experience. I've never accelerated like that without making noise, and I'll tell you what, this thing, it is instant go. Yeah, definitely feels a little top heavy, a little sluggish. Maybe we can get some carbon fiber wheels on here for this project. All right, we'll just do a roll on from, wow! Oh, geez. Okay. The first thing that I can tell you that is most definitely a advantage, if you're a hellion, if you're a hooligan, and you like raising hell and pissing off the neighbors, Oh, you're not gonna piss them off anymore. Holy cow. This thing just took off like a rocket ship. Now granted, I'm by myself, so I don't know how fast it's actually going. I'll go ride with somebody before too long. I want to get caught at the red light. Make sure the electric shift's on. Oh, that's right, it doesn't shift. There is so much strangeness going on right now, I don't even I don't even know what to say. But initial initial reaction, I think the giggles will probably tell it tell it to you. But this is even a little bit different than that. I mean, it's pretty surreal to be able to run around accelerating like this. I mean, I shouldn't say this, but it feels like I could just zoom past a cop and they wouldn't know anything. All right, we'll just go ahead and hit her again. Whoa! They have to turn some of that traction on. Jesus! All right, guys, I'm a die-hard internal combustion engine guy, right? I love big horsepower. I've set records on nitrous bikes. I'm not a big turbo fan, but I gotta tell you, this thing accelerates like it's got nitrous in the throttle. It just really pulls hard. I mean, Jesus, 175 foot-pounds of torque too. When we get back, I'll compare that to some of today's fastest bikes, and I can tell you, if you're a big fan of torque, this DC motor's the way to go. Wow. All right, so the biggest problem you're gonna have is with radar, but I think you might get lucky because if you're going that fast and making no noise, maybe the federales won't see you. Oh wow, what a rush. This thing truly is a lot of fun. And it's stock. And I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not, how do I even explain this? That feeling of torque, and that's what you feel when you twist the gas on a motorcycle. The torque is what accelerates the vehicle. The torque is what your ass feels. Your ass doesn't feel horsepower. And they have done an exceptionally good job. One thing too, I may want to, I'm not sure if this has a steering damper on it, but if not, I'm gonna want one. It's a little twitchy up front. But anyway, your ass doesn't feel horsepower, it feels torque. And if I'm just putzing along down here, let's go up to the speed limit, and I just aggressively hit the gas. Wow! That is really fun. I guess the biggest problem is that after my giggling stops, I can feel they're pulling it back, right? It takes off like a rocket, and then it just sort of, I won't say noses over, it stays flat, still accelerating nicely, but it's just the power delivery is so different. It's back to that deal. Where would this fit in my life? And I think, commuting, for sure. Gotta check the federales. Wow! Jesus! Nah, for real, this thing is a blast. It is an absolute blast to ride. I think if you like your driver's license, it could be a problem. But I swear I could probably pull up next to the police, do a big fat smoky burnout, and they wouldn't even see me. Wow! And the acceleration with no noise, just crazy. Because even the high-pitched whine that was so prominent on the dyno, once you get that wind noise in here, you really I don't hear anything. Yeah, next on the list is definitely going and riding with someone that I know performs well. Wow. Once I get the suspension set up, get things the way I like them, we'll be able to play in the corners a bit more. I don't want to crash their motorcycle. Yeah, so the front brakes with the regenerative. I'm just actually, you know what, I'm going to pull over here and I'm going to go put that braking on. Sure, I have to be stopped. There we go. Low, medium, we'll stay there. We're going to turn the ABS on. All right, ABS is now on, so is the braking. I got to drive a friend of mine's Tesla car. The braking was amazing. Oh yeah, that. All right, so I can say in all honesty that regenerative braking is very, very handy when you're doing hooligan shit. If you're in my experience, especially at the drag strip, generally when we go down, it's from grabbing too much brake. I'm not a big brake grabbing fan. Had to show off for the boys there, you see? Turn around. I think I'm going to turn that braking up more. I really like it. And I'm making electricity to charge the battery. Alright, let's try this again. We'll turn the traction control. We'll keep it on level 1. Turn the traction control on. Alright, we're going to turn that to high. ABS is on. We now have all the nanny stuff in gear. Go play around a little bit more. Nanny on. Some bikes, like the H2, you don't ride them without the nanny stuff on. That was Gen 5 ZX10 Mike in his big old truck. Oh yeah. So on high, it almost makes the brakes twitchy now. Wow. We're going to have to stiffen up the suspension, although it is nice and plush. From what I understand, this is a demo bike, and the last ass to be in the seat, Mr. Jay Leno himself, he took it for a ride, said, I love it, and he bought a brand new one. Used his own money and stuff, too. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, wow. I will, I don't know what to do next here other than get back inside and just sort of discuss this thing and see what you guys would like to see next. Go mode. Hold down. Look behind. Hold down. Now we go forward with slow movement. And see if we can make it back into the dyno room. I'm just going to park it right here because she's going to need a little bit of a charge. Wow. Reverse, cruise control, heated grips. This thing's a real deal. Alright, wow, 86 degrees. It got hot. Still has 83% charge running out like a madman. Oh, wow. I don't even know what all this stuff is. Be fun to figure it out, though. Alright. If I'm reading this correctly, we got about 61 miles till it until it needs another charge. So I was driving it like a madman. It'd be interesting to see. I know when we were doing some stuff on the dyno, the mileage actually went up when I set the cruise control and quit whacking the gas wide open like a madman. Anyway, we'll talk about that here shortly.